Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you indeed. Welcome to this publicly advertised auction here today at the Silos, located on Salamanca Place here in Hobart. My name is Rob John. I am your auctioneer here this afternoon, and I do represent Toop and Toop Real Estate of Adelaide, South Australia. Now, it's very unusual, I suppose, for an Adelaide company to be coming over here, an auctioneer to represent the auction here from the Tasmanian Grain Elevator Board of this particular site. But it all comes about because 2 or 3 days ago, a friend of mine rang me up from Tasmania who was the auctioneer, and he said, listen, can you possibly do an auction for me in Hobart on Friday? And I said, well, I probably can. What's it all about? He said, well, I'm a pretty crook, and I really haven't got many options about it over here, so if you could help me out. And I said, well, what are you auctioning? He said, 4 silos, 4 silo buildings. Well, that took me back a little bit. Then he explained to me the environment that this silo building was in, a magnificent opportunity here, as I've seen it, and I just said, listen, you couldn't hold me back. You couldn't get 10 horses to hold me back from this, so I'll be there. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a unique opportunity because I also got here in time for the Congress, of course, and I was listening to Mr. Tony Rundle, the Premier of Tasmania, and he reported in the paper today in that wraparound around the Mercury that, and I'll read it if I may, that while the state's traditional sources would remain an important component of the economy, the next 5 years would see significant changes as Tasmania was reinvented. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Rundle couldn't have written a better speech for me, I don't think, in that particular word there, reinvented. Reinvented certainly applies to these 4 silos as you look at them and have a look at the application of them into magnificent tourism or residential opportunities that are here before you. Indeed, as I look at it here, the opportunity is right before you now as interested buyers around the auditorium. But to buy it, you must, of course, end up as the highest bidder here today. Now, within this document have been all the conditions of sale about the property, and also the contract for sale, and also, of course, the forms associated with the property here today. They remind you that you do bid today subject to a reserve price, and if you wish to be the new purchaser in a few moments' time, you'll need to be the highest bidder at or beyond that figure recognised by me as your auctioneer. Now, if indeed you are that successful purchaser, we'll just go inside and sit down and complete the documentation with your full company name in that particular regard. Of course, the vendor, of course, has also the right to bid up to, but not beyond the reserve price, as you're very well aware. And the balance, we will require a deposit equivalent to 10% of the purchase price that you bid here today. Now, the balance is due and payable in between 30 and 120 days' time. We do have leniency there from the Tasmanian Grain Elevator Board to comply with some of the requests from the purchasers here today. And so you do have up to 120 days to purchase the property. You do bid, of course, unconditionally here today, and you do not bid subject to the sale of any other property or finance, and of course cooling off rights do not apply at public auction in Hobart or South Australia for that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, I also remind you there's an insurance clause in the contract, and therefore you should take out an insurance policy to protect your equitable interest in the property here on these substantial improvements that we have in front of us. We have some people here representing people from Sydney and Melbourne and Adelaide as investors in the property, and they are registered with us as bidders, and therefore they may, of course, bid on that basis. If indeed you're here representing somebody else and you haven't made those arrangements with us, then of course the contract will be made out in your company name and therefore as a nominee contract. The other point I'd like to remind you about here is that my job is to represent the best interests of our vendor, and therefore I will take all bids in their favour from that point of view. At the time of selling the property here today, I'll call it 3 times. I'll call it once, I'll call it twice, and I'll call it 3 times. And on the fall of the hammer, on that 3rd call, that's when the property will be sold. And ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to be the new purchaser, you'll need to be the highest bidder upstanding at that time, recognised by me in that way. I am offering to you here today that piece of improved land covered by the Certificate of Title, Register Book Volume 118578, Folio 1. It is Lot 1 on diagram 118578, some 2,301 square metres of land with mixed-use zoning in the Battery Point planning area, in the Hobart City Council area here as well. There are 2 monthly tenancies on the property here today, and they both return $440 per month. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that may seem a rather insignificant sum in that particular way, but they are monthly tenancies, and the advantage with this, of course, is that you can give notice today for 30 days vacancy here to take over the property in 30 days' time. So it's not as much as the money that they're paying you, it's the flexibility to move right in and enjoy the total scene here from that point of view. There's also a lease payment from the Victorian beer from VB up there, sitting right up on top. And I know that the Premier here would love to see a Cascade sign up there, but that is returning to you $7,200 per annum, and you can certainly take that into consideration as well. The other point I'd like to remind you about is that the hydroelectric substation on the land may be indeed removed and relocated. The purchase is expensive. It doesn't suit your particular planning requirements. And the council does have right of way over a 2 metre by 9 metre access here to come in and improve works at any particular point in time. The tenants, the only exclusions on the property here today, ladies and gentlemen, are the tenants' personal effects and loose furniture and any of their stock in trade. So it's a very straightforward offering indeed. Indeed, the council rates here are some $6,000 per annum. I'll mention that to you now, but of course that can be very flexible based on the amount of money that is actually paid for the property here today. Ladies and gentlemen, buyers in particular, do you have any questions or queries about the property here today, or about the method under which we're offering it here for your bidding this very afternoon?
Mr. Auctioneer, I have a question, if I may. I'm an interested purchaser, but
Sir, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Over here.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a bit concerned about the tunnel under this property.
Yes.
Could you give me some assurances that the Marine Board would warranty that if I do buy it, that I will have no legal liability in relation to that tunnel? And also, what is my protection in relation to flooding?
Sir, from the point of view of the tunnel, any use of that particular tunnel would have to be granted by the Marine Board itself, so you need to get approval, if you like, to be able to use it in that sense. I think from their point of view, it's going to be a disused tunnel. It's currently used for moving grain from the wharf up to the actual premises themselves. They will have no further use for it. It's there really for your negotiation, whether you want it or how you wish to have it sealed off from that point of view.
So the liability's on me as purchaser?
The liability's on you for any continued use of the tunnel whatsoever, sir. Any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Well, as I look around the audience here today and the buyers amongst you, and I've seen a lot of you through the Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide markets looking at great investment opportunities, there's one question I suppose we need to ask of ourselves, and that is, what are the silos? Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that the silos are about 12 metres in diameter, and they are actually 30.48 metres in height. They're not 30.5, because of the fear of God I went up there and stood on the top of them and had a look at it today. They are 30.48 metres. But once you get up there, the magnificent views across the actual harbour here, across the Tasman River and around here to Mount Wellington, the panoramic views are just unbelievable. But as a new boy in town, I thought, well, I'd better take some interest in this and find out from other people exactly what was planned as far as the usage of this particular property here today. And I had a wander down Salamanca Place here and had a look through the markets, and I came along a futurologist. Now, a futurologist is a pretty fancy word for a fortune teller. But there was this little lady sitting there, and she had this crystal ball. And I guess a few of you have had the same crystal ball, and you've had a look at it to see exactly what you'd be using this particular property for. The crystal ball, I had a look in it, and she said, there are two main uses for this property, Rob. And I said, what are they? And she said, well, it could be the world's best, and those words echoed Mr. Rundle's comments here today about Hobart and being the world's best here. It could be the world's best vertical amusement park. And you could see there, as she looked at it, a living environment there in one tower, and an abseiling tower in another, and a rocket ship. And she said this could be Cape Canaveral all over again. You sit in there and simulated flight going out of the property, and up there you go. Abseiling, you could be doing that, or base jumping, all sorts of things. Rock climbing inside, even the skydiving aspect with that big tunnels. And then she said, but more seriously, I think, as you look at it, there's a lot of interest in the property from the point of view of apartment buildings or whatever it may be. Apartment buildings either in serviced apartment style or whatever. And then I thought about that myself, because that certainly does take advantage of the magnificent views in this particular property as you go up every centimetre of those 30.48 metres right up into the air, and you have a look around. And in a few weeks' time, you'll be able to look over and see the snow on the top of Mount Wellington. You can look down to Salamanca Place there, to the markets. You can have a look at Prince's Wharf and the developments that are taking place there, across Prince's Park as well. It is absolutely stunning, and I can see why Mr. Rundle is so excited about the development and wants that VB sign-off and a Cascade sign up there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a magnificent offering here today, friendly known as the Four Sisters, I suppose. These silos here, these silo buildings, they're certainly here for your purchase at this particular point in time. If you have no further questions or queries, it's time to get on with the bidding and make the property yours. Ladies and gentlemen...
Excuse, please, English not good. By Graudy Palix?
Sorry, sir?
By Graudy Palix. By Graudy Palix.
Sir, your English is not much better than my language that you're in as well. If I can possibly come up and have a chat to you about it. Would you like to come down here and...
No? By Graudy Palix.
Well, sir, I honestly can't answer your question because I just don't understand it. I would love to.
All my friend wants to know, does the grain stay?
By Graudy Palix.
By Graudy Palix.
Yeah.
Sir, the actual silos are empty now. There is no further use. The property has been relocated. I talked to you, sir, as well. The grain has all been relocated to Devonport under the instructions of the owner, and it's a disused, no grain. It's a disused silo, sir. Does that clear up your question?
There is grain. Grain is...
Yeah.
Sir,
we want grain.
You want grain? Well, sir, the grain is now available in Tasmania from around on Devonport. That's where it's all been relocated around there. So I'm sorry that I can't give you any grain this afternoon.
Okay.
But I'm sure the board will accommodate you. And
Graudy Palix.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, are there any other further questions that you may have from the audience? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a property that we've been marketing certainly in the upper reaches of the $700,000 or $800,000 mark. I'm sure that that's the sort of bidding that we'll see reflected here when you consider the great flexibility of the property here indeed today. And I suppose you make up your own mind whether you're going to rival Disneyland. But certainly here today, take the Premier's words in mind and reinvent a little piece of Tasmania right down there on the wharves here in Hobart. 500 metres or so from the CBD. It's certainly a magnificent opportunity for you now. Where would you like to start me away this afternoon? Can I suggest an opening bid for you then around the $800,000 mark to get us away? $700,000 or $800,000, ladies and gentlemen, here. That's $700,000. Hang you in the middle. We have $700,000 now, and I'll take your 50s from here. That's $700,000 and 50 on the right. That's $750 now, and again in the middle here, and on the left it's 8. At $800,000 we have here now. At $800,000 and 50, madam, here. $850, thank you. At $850,000.
Would you take 25,000, please?
Sorry, sir?
Take 25?
Not just at the moment, sir. We're still taking 50s at this particular point in time, but I will come back to you. Would you like 50 now? It's $850 now. I'll take your 9. Thank you, sir. At $900,000 here. At $900,000, madam, would you like $950? At $900,000, $950, sir. $950 we have here. At $950,000, I'll take $1 million anywhere if you like. At $950,000, $1 million here. At $100 million now. At $100 million. $1 million. Just jump the prices in Tasmania. It'll be very popular with the Premier. $1 million we have now, madam, with you now. $1 million we have, and it's again the right here. At $1 million now, I'll take another $50,000 anywhere if you like. Sorry? All right, I'll take you 25 now, sir. Thank you. $1,025,000, looking for $1,050,000. $1,025,000 we have here now. Would you like a bid, sir? $1,050,000. At $1,050,000 here now, what about 25 from you, sir? My new friend. At $1,025,000 here now. What about you, madam? At $1,050,000 we have. At $1,050,000, $1,050,000 here, sir, with you. At $1,050,000. Are you done with it and finished at $1,025,000, sir? 20, $1,070,000. 1,070. 1,007,000. All right, sir, $1,700,000. Sorry, $1,070,000 we have here. At $1,070,000. We don't have many properties this size in Adelaide. At $1,070,090, sir, if you like. $1,090,000 here. $1,090,000 we have now. $1,090,000, and I'll take it to 1-1 if you like. At $1,090,000. Want to make it 1-1, sir, madam, here if you like. At $1,090,000. $1,090,000 here. $1,090,000. The left's very quiet today. You can all be in it over here. At $1,090,000 then. Take another 20 if you like. $1,090,000. Are you done? All finished with it. For the first call at $1,090,000, are you done and finished? Make it 1-1, sir, if you like. What about that? Nice round figures. It's not the way to buy a property, shaking your head that way, madam. $1,090,000 then should be going up and down. $1,090,000 here. First call then at $1,090,000. All done with it and finished. Madam, can I interest you again in another bid? At $1,090,000. Again, you now, sir, it's up here. $1,090,000. All done with it. Making the first and second calls again at $1,090,000. So you're itching to get into the bidding here. Would you like to make it 1.1 million? At $1,090,000 then. Are you done? Are you done? 1,090,000. All done with it. Take it $10,000 if you like, sir. 1,090,000. All done with it. Finish with it. Sir, the bid's with you here at $1,090,000. Ladies and gentlemen, our instructions are clear. The owners want it sold today at $1,090,000. All done. Finish with it. All done and finished. Yes, madam? 1.1, thank you, madam. And you were very lucky there and you were the upstanding bidder there at that particular point in time, and thank you for your bid. At $1.1 million here now. 1.1, the left's out. At 1.1, and you're out, sir, and you as well. At 1.1, we have now with a lady. At 1.1 now. At $1.1 million, all done and finished. First call then at $1.1 million. Ladies and gentlemen, made that first call of the three that I've mentioned to you before. It's with the lady here now, and to get you both here. At 1.1, can I tempt you with another one, sir? At 1.1, you're right out. You're out as well, sir. Second call, $1.1 million. All done with it. Ladies and gentlemen, great buying of this sort of money. The four sisters, here to
1.15.
Sir, I'll take it from you, 1.15, and thank you. At $1.15 million, madam, don't let it slip away for 5, though. At 1.15. $1.15 million here now. All done. First call at $1.15 million. Your bid, sir. Second call at $1.15 million. All done. We've made the two calls. You're right out, madam, now. Tempt you back in if you like. At $1.15 million then. We're here to sell. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. The property is here to sell. It's your bid, sir, at $1.15 million. Yes, you may well congratulate him, sir, but I'd wait for a couple of seconds. At $1.15 million. All done. Finish with it. Ladies and gentlemen, the property is sold, and congratulations to you, sir. Well bought. What jubilation. I'm sure Mr. Tony Rundle will have the same sort of effect on that as well, sir. Maybe even who knows, a different sort of sign up there on the top at $1.15 million. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Tube and Tube Real Estate and the owners of the property, myself as Rob John as your auctioneer, I'd certainly like to thank you very much for your interest and your attention here this afternoon. Commiserations to the underbidders. I'm sure we can find something to rival the property for you. But ladies and gentlemen, as I've said before, thank you very much indeed, and have a good afternoon. Thank you very much.